Hey guys, so last night I spent probably about 4 or 5 hours, maybe more, playing Sons of the Forest, and I thought I'd just give you a quick review on the game and why I think it's not worth buying. For me, it was all just a bit meh. It's pretty much a walking simulator with nice graphics. So in the first one, it was basically a survival horror game where the player's stranded on a mysterious island after a plane crash, and the island's filled with dangerous mutants and cannibals, and you've got to scavenge for supplies, build shelter, and fight for survival. And the story is basically revealed through notes and clues scattered throughout the island, and the players got to uncover the secrets of the island to find a way off. Now, I had a crafting system, and with this crafting system, you could build, tree houses, sort of fortifications, big cabins, garden patches, all sorts of things like that. But the problem with that was why bother building any of it? Because there's no real threat in the game. You don't really get attacked that much. If you do, you'll get attacked by a group of like 4 or 5 guys that come running around, and you beat them down, burn the bodies because you want bones. But then that's pretty much so it. There's no real reason to build like a big compound or anything because you're constantly moving. You always got a long way to walk to. Now the Sons of the Forest was like that, but doubly as bad. Right, now for the gameplay. So the crafting system of the first game makes a return in Sons of the Forest, and it allows players to construct a wide range of structures like shelters, storage areas, defensives, and even farms to grow their own food. Now, my first sort of gripe about it is the amount of resources required to craft these things. It's excessive. We built our first sort of shelter on the beach, and this took probably 4 of us, probably about 15-20 minutes to actually construct this thing. But we constructed it for absolutely zero purpose because we put a bed in it. You only need one bed for the 4 of you, so making more, there's no necessity to do it. And once we put the bed in it, you save the game and you slept. Then we never came back to it because there's absolutely no need to come back to it. You don't need food because you find food absolutely everywhere. You'll find MRE packs, you'll find cans of cat food. You can eat a lot of the berries and things like that, or you can kill animals and burn them. But there's no actual reason to have a base of operations, and you don't want a base of operations because the distances you have to walk are absolutely phenomenal. You just literally, it's a walking simulator. You're walking from this point to that point to this point to that point for what feels like no real purpose. Basically, you walk to one point to another point and you'll find a flashlight, and then you got to walk from that point to another point, and then you'll find a gun, and then you walk from that point to another point and you find a whatever. But there's no need to build a base. It's not like you don't need it for defense because you don't really get attacked that often, and if you do, it's only a few of them. You don't need it to grow food because there's too much food out there. With the UI, another complaint I've got is you construct stuff for your backpack, which the backpack lays out on the floor, and it's absolutely huge. And basically, it's stored in an upside down U shape on the floor. And you scroll from left to right to see all the different things in your backpack, and you can obviously combine these. But you don't combine them because there's no need to combine them. Because if you're going to use them, to use Molotovs or grenades, you have to attach them to the back of your backpack, and to get access to them, you have to hold your backpack out in front of you, and then you can select the things. So you have to do this mid-fight. Now, I don't know why they didn't use a hotbar, because I'm pretty sure I've seen a hotbar in a few different games over the years, and it makes it quite simple. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You select the thing you want to use, and then you throw it or attack with it. But what this means is in the gameplay that actually nobody uses anything or constructs anything. So we're all playing and we're all just running around with spears, or my brother was using a club. Because to get anything out, occasionally we'd throw the odd Molotov or grenade when there are a lot of enemies, but to get anything out, you literally have to place your backpack on the floor, or have the thing set on the back of the backpack, so then hold your backpack out in front of you, select your Molotov and throw it. So you end up with backpacks full of stuff, because you don't actually use any of it. You don't use any of the rope, you don't use any of the meds. And you don't use the meds because the combat's so simple, and you never need to use them. Basically, combat's just a matter of overwhelming enemies with brute force. The other frustrating thing would be the damage dealt by weapons is really poorly represented. It's shown by a set of coloured bars, and it makes it difficult to determine which weapons are actually effective. So because nobody knows, you just use a spear. So everybody was using spears, apart from one of us. No one weapon seems better than the others. Yeah, you can make clubs, you can make spears, you can make bows, but they don't really seem to make any difference, so you're just as well having a spear and stab them to death. Once you get guns, it gets a bit funnier, but it's literally one-shot kill. with a shotgun, you can blow a guy backwards about a meter.
I need to get back to the other cave as well.
Now, when it comes to the graphics, I mean, graphically, it's stunning. It looks amazing. You know, you look at the forest, the mountains. I mean, it all looks beautiful. You know, the sea looks incredible. But then again, nowadays, what game doesn't? All games have decent graphics. It's not a selling point anymore. You know, the days of being impressed by graphics are pretty much so gone. Yeah, you get, you know, a storm will come in and all the trees are bending, and yeah, it looks great, and the rain on the cockpit of the helicopter when the game first starts, yeah, that's stunning and that looks impressive. But after that, it's got issues. The frame rate just chunks in places. Literally, a storm came in, and my frame rate just started stuttering and stuttering and stuttering and stuttering. And the only way I could stop it, literally, I had to shut down the game and restart it again before it went back to normal. Yeah, so it looks brilliant. What game doesn't? Now, sounds. There's some weird sound bugs, it seems. Enemies will sound really close when in fact they're actually nowhere near you. And, you know, some of it's creepy. There's eerie voices when you go into caves, and, you know, there's weird screeching women in the forest. But once you've heard it a few times, it just gets a bit stale. Now, it's not saying that the game doesn't have its fun moments. It is fun. But is that because you're playing with friends? Could you be, you know, having more fun in a different game where you're not walking around so much? I'm pretty sure it's the first time in my life that I've had to listen to my brother saying that he's going to grenade all the babies, because you get the little weird baby mutant spawns. I mean, we definitely had a laugh, and, you know, there's a lot of screaming like little girls, with jump scares, and everyone panicking. And we had a bit of fun with the retarded AI helper, the guy that just tends to walk into the buildings. But I think you could be having more fun in a different game where you're not just literally running from point A to point B with literally nothing happening in between. Now, for the question of sort of replayability, now I haven't completed the game, nor will I probably won't ever complete the game, because it's just not fun enough. I don't want to be walking, you know, from here to there for just no reason. Yeah, for role players, yeah, people are going to like it. People are going to probably build massive villages with massive defences. But there's no reason for it. There's no purpose to do it. So, for me, would you replay it? No, I don't want to walk that far. I mean, pros and cons. Yeah, it's a pretty game. Yeah, you can play it with your friends, so in that aspect it's good. So if you want to play survival sort of horror with a big group of your friends, then buy it. Cons? Hiking Simulator 2023? I don't know. I mean, to sum it up, yeah, I was pretty hyped for the game, but after playing it, I think we played it for about 6 hours last night. Would I play it again? No, I wouldn't. You know, it is early access. Unless they're going to add Land Rovers or 4x4 vehicles to it, then would I play it again? No, I wouldn't. I couldn't be bothered. I think there's a lot better games out there to spend your money on. It could have been great, but it just seems it's too like the first one, and there's just nothing really changed apart from the island's a lot bigger, so you have to walk to more places. I'd save your money if I were you. But let me know in the comments. I mean, maybe you liked it, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. But if you still watched the video, well, if you watched the video to here, leave us a like and subscribe, because it really helps. Cheers.